Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is AJ, and I'm coming to you with another video. And today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's Transparent Tuesday. So let's get transparent. Um, a few weeks ago, I did get married. I mentioned it in previous videos, and a couple of people have been hitting me up asking me about my relationship, how we met and everything. So it's a long story, but I'm going to give you the Cliff Note version of how I met my wife. So here we go. At the end of March, a few of my friends were telling me to get on dating apps because I kept saying, I wanted to meet someone. I wanted to go out, but I wasn't sure, how people would react to me being transgender when it came to dating. It was more along the lines of, do I tell them right away or do I wait and then tell them? Because I knew I wanted to tell them so that there would be no misunderstanding. And I was kind of apprehensive about apps, but I did go on an app. I went on a few apps actually, but the main one that I was focused on was Hinge. And because a lot of my friends went on Hinge and they found their mates. So I'm like, okay, if it worked for them, hopefully it'll work for me. So I went on Hinge, and the first thing I put on my profile was that I was transgender. So if anyone had a problem with that, they can just swipe left. That was basically what I said. And I was on Hinge for like a good month, and I wasn't seeing anyone that I was interested in, and no one was, I guess, interested in me. So I was like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm going to delete this app. It never gave me my preferences anyway. They give you options of what you want so that they can take those options, take your preferences, and bring them to your feed. And every time they brought a person to my feed, the preference that I had was nowhere in that person. Like, they kept showing me the opposite of what I've been asking for. So I was going to delete the app. And at the end of March, I went on Hinge just to delete it. And when I went on Hinge, up pops this picture of my now wife. And I was like speechless. I looked at her now, and as soon as I saw her, I said, that's my wife. So, I looked at all her pictures, I looked at her profile, and literally everything on her profile was everything I had been praying for, everything I've been asking for in a woman, in a wife. So I messaged her through the app, and she took a day to respond, but she did respond, and she was like, okay, so would you like to go out and meet somewhere so we can talk? And I said, sure. So I invited her to one of my favorite coffee spots in Harlem. And we made a date for April 7th in the afternoon. So that's when we met. Unfortunately, she had to leave early because she had a prior lunch date with her nephew, like at 3 o'clock. And we met at 1. So, when it came time for her to leave, she was like, I don't want this to end. You're amazing. Would you like to come meet my nephew? So I was like, sure, I'll come meet your nephew. Now, I thought I was just going to meet her nephew. I didn't know that her plan was for me to stay with them to share a meal at this restaurant. So that's what happened. And we had a great time. Literally, we had an amazing time just talking. The food was really good. We stayed there for so long that the restaurant had to put us out lovingly because their dinner crowd was coming in, and they had reservations for a lot of tables, and we were occupying one of the tables. So, but it was okay. We were finished everything anyway. But it was just the fact that we got to interact more. I got to meet her nephew. We were vibing. So after that, I got her number. We walked her to the train station. Her nephew went another way to go home, and I went across the street to the other train station. It was the same train that my wife was going on, but she was going downtown and I was going uptown. So while we're waiting on the platform for our trains, I texted her to ask her for a second date. And she said yes. So I said, well, since you live so far away, why don't you just come to my place next weekend and just spend the whole weekend. That way, I wouldn't have to worry about her going all the way back home later in the evening when it's dark, because I just wouldn't feel right about that anyway. So she said, okay. So the following weekend, well, actually, before the following weekend, that week we were talking every day through video, literally for hours. And we got to know each other, and we got to really, really like each other more and more. And I started noticing some things about her, and she started noticing some things about me that we would point out. And I would look at her when she was tired, because a lot of times when she would talk to me, we'd be talking so late, she would lay down in the bed, and I noticed she would start to like rub her head like this. And after about 3 days, I was like, you must be sleepy, you're rubbing your head. And she was like, how did you know that? I was like, because I've been watching you for a couple of days, and every time you're about to go to sleep, you rub your head. So that kind of thing. So we started interacting more and more that way. So when it came time for her to come over for the weekend, she came over. I introduced her to Marvel Comics, because I'm a Marvel fan, and she wasn't, and she had never seen any Marvel movie or read any Marvel comic, except for she saw the first Black Panther movie. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to start you from the beginning. So that was what we started doing that weekend, and it was an incredible weekend. Like, that weekend, I fell in love with her more and more, and I asked her to be my girlfriend. So she said yes, of course. And then from there, I said, well, how long do I have to wait for me to ask you to be my wife? And she was like, you can wait a week. And I'm like, okay. So the following weekend, she came back over, and I gave her keys to my place. I asked her to marry me. She said yes. I knew she was kind of reluctant, but again, I told her I just felt for her. Like, the first time I saw her, before I even met her, before I messaged her, when I saw her picture on the app, I just fell for her, and I knew that she was going to be my wife. And I told her that. And I told her that, she was everything that I prayed to God for. And when I find what I want and see what I want, I go after it. And I don't believe in waiting a year, 2 years, 5 years. That's just not me. For those who do, that's totally fine. That's what you like to do. But for me, I knew that she was my wife, and I knew she was who I wanted, and it was no point in me waiting. So as time went on, we were talking more and more every day. Eventually, I told her, listen, you have keys. You don't have to leave if you don't want to. So eventually, she didn't leave. She started bringing things here from her old apartment slowly, whether it was weekend by weekend or whatever. And then I told her, your birthday's in September. I said, don't be surprised if we're married by your birthday. And she was like, okay, So I don't think that, well, she didn't take that lightly, but at the same time, she knew it was coming up. So she was kind of like, oh boy, this is real. Like, this is really real. And it was. It really was. Like, I was not playing at all. I knew she was the one for me. So as time went on, we would celebrate our milestones. So, May 7th, May 14th, May 21st was, our, well, it couldn't be an anniversary, but for lack of a better word, it was our anniversary. We met on April 7th. So May 7th was our 1 month anniversary of us meeting. I asked her to be my girlfriend on April 14th. So that was our 1 month anniversary of me asking her to be her girlfriend. I proposed to her April 21st, so May 21st, on and on like that. So that went on May, June, July, August, and she grew with me, and she was helping me through my transition, because in July I had bottom surgery, and I was like, before that, I was talking to her in May and telling her, listen, this is what I'm doing. And I wanted her to fully understand what to expect, because she knew about transgender people, but I don't think she knew the full scope and gamut of what she was getting into with me. And she appreciated me talking to her about it and sharing my life with her and my journey with her. And she just wanted to know, she wanted to know what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. So it became a teachable moment for me with her. And I was just very, very appreciative that she was willing to sit and hear and learn. And I told her about the bottom surgery that I was going to have. I told her what it was going to look like, what the recovery time would be, this, that, and the other. And she was like, whatever you want to do, I am there for you. I'm in your corner. It does not matter. And that just made me feel so good that, it was almost like an interruption in her life, but she didn't see it that way. She saw it as me sharing my journey with her, so it became her journey. Because she even said, through our relationship, I'm transitioning too, because I'm learning more about you as you learn more about yourself through transition. And I just thought that was so amazing and the sweetest thing. So, I had my maturioplasty July 13th. She was right there. I told her, listen, you don't have to stay in the hospital. I had to stay in the hospital for 2 days. She was like, yeah, I'm staying. She's like, I am not going home without you. So it's that kind of thing. Like, we grew so close. And the crazy thing is that we never really dated. We just talked a lot, whether it was face to face, whether it was on video, on the phone. We talked a lot for hours. That's how we got to know about each other, and we still talk every day. So, the more I talked with her, the more I fell in love with her. And, August came and was coming to an end, and I said, so, I need you to take some time off this particular day. And she was like, well, I'm off anyway. It was a Friday because she's off on Fridays. I was like, good, because we're going to get our marriage license. And she was like, whoa, what? It kind of springing it on her that way. But she was like, oh, okay. So she said she was a bit nervous, but she was excited. She was ready for it. So we went and got our marriage license. And that was actually a week before we got married. So she was like, so can I ask the day we're getting married? And I said, we're getting married September 7th. And she was like, that's my birthday. And I was like, exactly. I said, I wanted your present to be our union, our legal union. And, September 7th, we got married, and it was amazing. And I can now say that I am married. Look at that. I love my wife. I adore my wife. And I'm grateful for my wife. I really am. And I can't imagine my life without her. I remember a time when I didn't think that I was worthy of love because I didn't love myself. I didn't know if I wanted to get married because I didn't know what my place would be in a relationship, because I didn't know who I was. And this was before my transition. And I was like, I'm never getting married. It's not for me. No one will want me anyway. And now I can actually say that I did a full 180 because I know who I am. I am happy with being trans. I love myself to the utmost, and I'm able to take some of that love and share it with the one person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And I'm so grateful to her. I love her, and hopefully we'll get to live happily ever after. I know everything's not going to be perfect. We're always going to have some type of disagreement because, of course, that's every relationship. you know, we have disagreements all the time, but we agree to disagree, we laugh about it, and then we move on. And I'm just excited about our future. I know we have so much in store for us, and I'm just glad that she said yes. And not even yes. I'm glad that she swiped right. I'm glad that she responded to um, my message on Hinge. So we both deleted the app because, you know, that's their motto. Hinge is the app that's meant to be deleted. So yeah, I think the second week that but after we met, we both deleted the app. So we've been together since April 7th, and 5 months to the day that we met, we got married. So um, that's my story. My that's my video. You know, I just wanted to share that with everyone because I did get a lot of questions about it. But yeah, that's my video, and I hope that's helped someone. You know, someone who may be in love and not too sure if people will say something negative about your relationship moving so fast. It doesn't matter what other people say. What matters is what you feel, what your significant other feels, how you all interact, and if it's something that you want to do, do it. We wanted to get married, so we did. We didn't want to wait, so we didn't. That's us, and it works for us. It may not work for everyone, but if it works for you, then do it. Forget what everyone else says, because they're gonna have to catch up to your relationship, and it's just that, it's your relationship. And I'm happy to say that I am in a beautiful, loving relationship, and this is trans joy at its best. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening, for watching this video and my other videos. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I'll come back with more videos. If you have any questions about my transition or transitioning in general, hit me up and I will either do a video on it or I will answer you in the comments. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, your afternoon, your evening, or whenever you are watching this video. Be good. And if you can't be good, then be good at it. A.A.J. out, y'all. So I am getting ready for my wedding. I get to marry my beautiful, beautiful fiance today, and today is actually the anniversary of her birth. So it's the perfect present for her. She's in the other room getting dressed. She doesn't want me to see her yet. So I'm getting dressed in here, and then we're going to go to the courthouse. We didn't want any big elaborate wedding. Neither one of us really like weddings in that aspect, the whole big hoopla. We didn't want that. We decided it was just going to be her, I, and a witness at the court, and then it'll be done. So I'm getting ready. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I just want this woman to be my wife, and yeah. So I'm going to get dressed so that we can go become man and wife. I have my pick. Haven't decided which shirt I'm wearing with my suit, but you all will see it when I decide.